Leno made 2 or 3 fine saves. That proved to be sufficient to get the 3 points. It was an early penalty from Erling Haaland that made it 1-0. With their only attack, really, Fulham made it 1-1 through Vinicius against the run of play. But that Julian Alvarez super strike was worthy of winning any football match. And although it came in the 36th minute, the Blues managed to take that lead to full time, and they will now go above Arsenal by a point with a 14 better goal difference and a game in hand. The Blues look down on the rest of the Premier League and say, prize the title away from us if you can. It's Advantage City, no doubt about it. Another professional afternoon's work. The final score, Fulham 1, City 2, exactly the same as the game at the Etihad. A Haaland penalty and an Alvarez goal gives them the points. Well, let's go back to the studio. Natalie is with Nedum, Izzy and Julian.
Welcome back to Matchday Live, and City have gone top of the Premier League with a 2-1 victory over Fulham. Still joined by Nedum, Onuoha, Joleon, Lescott and Izzy Christiansen. Nedum, perhaps a trickier day than some were expecting, but ultimately the 3 points is what matters.
Who's some? Are you some?
Yes.
Okay, that's fair then.
Yeah.
I think
I'm some. I think most fans were some.
Yeah, I think speaking from experience, regardless of how well you're badly doing in the league, an away game is always going to be tough for a certain spell. You know, like the fans have turned up, not the City fans obviously, but the Fulham fans have turned up to see their team have a go. And I thought Fulham could have only played better than it did in that first half. Not to say he could have done better, but in fairness, it was Fulham that stepped up just that little bit more. But in the grand scheme of things, City limited them to having 2 shots, and there was a lot more danger and so on. But I think what's key in this City side at the moment, this iteration, obviously it helps to have Haaland, but it helps to have a John Stones, Ruben Diaz, Manuel Akanji, Kyle Walker in there for these sort of like dogged away games, because they just essentially fought their way through the second half. And it's one of the reasons why, you know, they're such a tough team to beat, because even on a day like today where they're not at their supreme best, you still can't find a way to get past them. So yeah, fair play to them.
I'm mesmerised for a minute by these pictures of the players celebrating in front of the fans, because you can see, Izzy, by these celebrations that they know what this means today.
Yeah, it's a big psychological boost, and I think Nedum hit the nail on the head with regards to City's performance today. It definitely wasn't up there with one of their best, but that's what winners do, isn't it? They find a way to win. That's what champions do. And yeah, to see them sitting at the top of the table now, the players know that means a lot, and they need their fans big time now, going into the rest of the season, especially in the Champions League as well.
Yeah, definitely, because it's been a busy period, Joleon. But we had the Bayern Munich game, then we had the FA Cup semi-final, then we had the Arsenal game. So it was like 3 games with a lot of pressure, with a lot of hype, with a lot of focus towards them. And so to win today, that was the main thing, wasn't it? And you can see what it means to them to have got that today. Yeah,
of course. I think there was a similar situation before when it was going into the Forest game. If they win, they kind of go to top of the league, and it didn't happen. So it was just important now that to win, and that's all that's important now. Performances are irrelevant now for City. Like, if they win every game and played like that, they would win the treble. So again, at this stage of the season, it's you want to play well, you want to perform well, and we have seen them do that in recent weeks, but it's not the be all and end all that they have to blitz every team for 90 minutes every week. It's just showing this side of the game as well, because there's going to be periods, maybe against Real Madrid, that you're going to have to be out of position and look comfortable. We were just seeing pictures there of Jack Grealish giving his shirt to a little girl and a little boy, and their reactions. Yeah. Oh my goodness, I love it, absolutely love it. Shout out to our women's team as well. They won 4-1 today against Reading. They are second in the WSL, although Chelsea just will blow them by 4 points, still have 3 games in hand, but they're 3 points off United, who are top, and they still have to play United. So all to play for in the WSL. We are going to show you all 4 goals there as well very shortly. But just to chat about that second half for the men's team there, Nedum. Not too many huge chances. Haaland had one sort of early on in the second half. A moment with Edison, though, that I want to talk about. What happened in that little bit of madness?
Well, so one thing, it looked like the pitch was quite dry. So a ball got played through, and, you know, I think Edison's come out and tried to be decisive. But then he's bumped into, I think, was it Ruben Diaz? And in fairness to Vinicius, he's followed it in all the way. So then a little bit of lack of technique, communication presents the opportunity. But in fairness, he stayed involved, but it's not stuff that you want to see. And is that the way you saw it, is it?
Yeah, I think you make a great point about the pitch. It did look like they hadn't put the sprinklers on at half-time, probably, potentially, to stifle City's, the way they move the ball. If they move it with pace on a wet pitch, it makes it very difficult to cover the spaces. So could have been tactical, it could have not been, I don't know. But that's the reason that incidents happened with Edison. I just think, but he's made a mistake, but his reaction to rectify it was unbelievable. We were all purring in the studio at the way he put his hand out. You described it as a paw, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, he's actually joking. I can't take that.
I mean, it was excellent nonetheless. Excellent. But he rectified it, and that could have been a key moment, and City managed to kind of save themselves in that situation. So, it was a big win.
All three of you were talking about this dry pitch during the game. How much of an impact is that, Joleon?
Huge, especially when you're playing for Fulham's approach, where it was a bit more direct, so it just delays the spin on the ball. So when you play it forward and it goes over the defence, it's going to stay in play, which means you have to defend. Them have to clear out for a corner or throw, and so it helps that. But like as you said, then it frustrates City because they want to pass crisp. I mean, you've seen it at times when they're trying to move it in the middle third and it's not exactly getting there. You have to put a little bit more on it. So it helps teams that recognise the threat of City. Listen, Fulham are not just a direct team and they want to play, but you want to hinder what Man City are doing. So that's why you would not water the pitch.
And I think as well, we saw there were times, say, when City moved it around the back, maybe from Kyle to Ruben to Manuel or whoever, and those balls are taking a bit longer to get there.
Yeah.
So if you're a team that's on the front foot, you've got more of a chance of being able to get there. And there were quite a few moments in that game, especially in the second half, where like Fulham were contesting it, usually where you'd see them for City, if the pitch is as, say, wet as it usually is. It's a nice slick pass and it just cuts you out. But instead, I'd say the carrot's there and it's encouragement to be on the front foot.
It's really interesting. I guess I've never really thought about that. But
with any professional player, any level, any gender, whatever, like you say, if you're a good player, you can play on anything. I don't agree with that.
Okay.
No, I'll always back the fact that if you're playing on a dry pitch, a sticky pitch, a bobbly pitch, it's going to affect your performance.
Yeah.
It's going to, without a doubt, especially when you train on a carpet, or if you're lucky enough to train on a carpet most days where it's been watered during the training session. Like, that's when you practice ball speed, that's when you practice playing out. And if you can't do that into a game on a weekend because the opposition have tactically, not watered the pitch, it's going to affect your game.
I love that. Yeah.
It's a great point, because it's probably the reason why there's so many cup shocks away in like January time when the pitch isn't the best and the conditions are quite strong. But then you very rarely see those teams have a perfect surface and outplay a team that's playing in leagues above them, because it will drag you down to essentially playing the worst version of the game that is possible, I think. But I don't know, maybe that's just...
Yeah, I like that. That's the insight you get from former players, indeed. Thank you.
No. Not everyone here is a former player. Not everyone here is a former player.
Nedum's making
his current player, sorry.
Current player.
I thought Nedum was announcing coming out.
Former City player.
Yes, former City player. Yes.
Okay.
I apologise. Yes, current
She's the most important person.
Five-a-side players, yes.
Yeah.
In terms of...
Seven-a-side.
Oh, is it? Okay. In terms of players on the pitch today, Julian Alvarez was given the man of the match by the TV crew. Joleon, would you agree with that?
Yeah, his contribution in both goals. Got the pen, scored a worldie. Probably could have got it for that goal as well, to be honest. Like, I don't think anyone was outstanding as what we've seen recently, but they all played a part. They all, at some point in the game, contributed. But yeah, Alvarez, no one's going to argue with his performance and the outcome to that man of the match.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For you two, looking for Haaland to get some points, fantasy football team.
I don't know what you mean.
Triple captain
Which one
Haaland.
contributions? Man of the match doesn't really matter. Contributions, that's all. That's all we see.
Not the best performance by some of the players today. I feel like we don't even really need to pick that out, though. Like, it's just we got the result, which was the main thing.
Yeah, I think that there's, off the back of a 3-game week and the highs at the Etihad on Wednesday night, the physically, it takes a lot out of you, but emotionally as well. Like, little factors again, current player insight of late nights, then impacting recovery the next day, then going and travelling down to London and playing. Little things like that are not easy to deal with as a professional player, and you've always got to try and find ways to sort of find those 1% of performance improvements or recovery improvements, and it would have taken a lot out of the players, and I can completely understand a performance like that today, but I think that's a warning sign. I'm sure Pep is saying in that dressing room now, you've been let off there today, lads, and it's time to get the foot back on the gas.
So the women's team also won today. It was 4-1 here at the Academy Stadium. They were playing bottom of the league, Reading. We're going to show you all 4 goals now. The game was available on City Plus and Recast. You'll be able to rewatch it there. So we saw these at half-time. The first goal coming for Chloe Kelly. We think they've given it to Chloe Kelly, but we wonder, Bunny's also claiming it there. We had a good discussion at half-time about the claimings of the goal, but Chloe's going to be happy with that, isn't she, Nedum?
Yeah, she will be. Yeah. Did we have a discussion at half-time? Don't know what we're talking about. Any goals that were mine were always mine. But yeah, it's an interesting one. But good that she went into that position, you know, not just staying out wide and not being involved in the game.
And then Bunny continues her attempt to win the goals, the top goal scorer. Rachel Daly, obviously at Villa, is pushing her tight, but another one for her today. What a sensational season, Izzy.
Yeah, she's unstoppable. I feel like the way that City are playing is built around Bunny. You know, getting the ball into the right areas. She's pretty deadly in any area of the box, and she's shown it again today.
The City's third goal coming just after half-time, and it's Lauren Hemp with great build-up play again from Chloe Kelly. Oh, you're having that, Joleon, right on a plate for you.
Yeah, because that first when she's running, I'm thinking there's a cutback on. But then the ball, that's probably the hardest pass she could have played, to be fair, but she's got the execution spot on. And Lauren, yeah, obviously back stick.
What's the saying? 10 a season in there. That's what I always hear.
Raheem.
Yeah,
if you don't buy a ticket.
Yes, yourself in there.
And then City's fourth in the 71st minute for our captain, Steph Houghton. Right foot. Yes.
2-2, eh?
2-2.
From centre-back, eh?
Yes.
It looks like Steph, she practices them all the time, to be fair. Excellent technique. It kind of would question the goalkeeper.
And the wall didn't look like
the wall broke, didn't they? The wall broke and the
keeper.
keeper's questionable, but the keeper's obviously seen it late, and yeah, Steph will be happy with that. Hard work pays off.
I hope Serena Fiegman's watching.
She probably is.
She will be.
She's probably not bothered. That's the downside, but who knows?
Oh, please. Right, we do have Chloe Kelly now. Like, oh, come on.
I hope she is. I hope she goes. I hope she plays, and I hope they win the World Cup. That's it. Clip that. That's the bit, yeah.
Done. Mic drop.
Yeah, say no more. There we go.
Another person with some mic drop moments today is Chloe Kelly. We're speaking to her pitch side now.
Chloe, there's only one place to start, a goal and assist for yourself. You look like you were really enjoying it out there today.
Yeah, I didn't want the game to end, to be honest. I felt we were playing good football towards the end, and yeah, just enjoying my football and trying to get as many goals and assists as possible.
Talk us through your goal, because you arrived in the box late. Is that something you've been working on in training to get in those areas?
Yeah, I've been working on trying to get in the right position in the box, and to be honest, I don't really know too much about it. I just booted something and it hurt a little bit, but yeah, a goal's a goal, and should have had more actually.
We're really seeing strong relationships across the front three and the entire team. How does it feel to be building those match by match?
Yeah, it's really good. We've got an amazing front three. Enjoy playing with such great talent, and yeah, I feel like we just bounce off each other and just enjoy playing with each other.
There must be some really healthy competition for goals. Obviously yourself, Bunny and Lauren all scoring today.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think when you put people on put it on a plate for people, it's so good. Like Hempo put it on a plate for me and I should have scored. So yeah, I feel like I beat myself up about it a bit, but yeah, we've moved forward and 3 points.
What was your overall assessment of the match? Because obviously Reading took the lead, but we responded really well.
Yeah, I think it weren't our best performance. I think we need to be better in the first half. We need to be better building, and we showed that in the second half. We needed what we needed to do, and I think when they go a goal up so soon, it's tough because you're not really expecting it. So yeah, I think it's about moving forward, building momentum, and getting points on the board, but also goals.
Talk us through Steph's influence on this team. We saw a great free kick from her. She scored last week as well. She's really enjoying her football at the moment as well too.
Yeah, 2-2 for Steph. She's unbelievable. A great captain, a great leader, but yeah, she's coming with the goals now. So she's such a talent, and I enjoy playing with her. And she's a great leader of our team.
And just finally, how's the squad feeling going to the final few games of the season?
Yeah, feeling good. I think we're building momentum now, scoring goals, and I think we can do more as well. I think we push each other every day to be better, and that's what it's all about. We push till the end of the season.
Right, lovely. Thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
Cheers.
I would love for you all to have seen the reaction in the studio when Chloe was asked there about the goal, because we all kind of thought it was Bunny, but they both ran off celebrating. But now I think, are we unanimously saying we reckon it was Bunny?
I think she gave it away indirectly. She told us that it wasn't there. I kicked something. No way. That's not a goal scorer's reaction.
If you kick the ball, you score. But if you don't kick the ball...
If it's mine, I know I've kicked it. So... You've kicked something, needs a foot or a person.
You'll have to start an inquest now.
Yes, we'll have to. Next time we see someone from the team, we'll have to find out what was said after. Yes, we'll get to the bottom of it. And now we're speaking as well. She scored today. It's our captain, Steph Houghton.
Steph, your second goal in as many games. Talk us through that free kick today.
To be honest, I always practiced them the day before the game, and they were pretty terrible, to be honest. And I remember Sean Gaunt was just put a little bit off it, and I think it's a perfect position for me, and I just needed to get it over the wall, so really happy. But most importantly, it's more about the win. I feel as though we started a little bit slow, but I think sometimes towards the end of the season we've just got to grind out results, and to be honest, it could have been more than 4 today.
You mentioned Sean there. How great has it been working with him since he's joined our team?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's an absolute legend of the football club, so to have someone of his experience and knowledge is great. And for me as a player and an older player, it's nice to have someone that you can kind of speak to, and he just brings a different energy, which is good. And them conversations with the girls away from the pitch is probably crucial, especially coming to the end of the season.
When you're stepping up to take a free kick, what goes through your mind? Is there a process that you follow?
I try and do the same routine, but I think, to be honest, I changed my mind last minute. I thought I was going to go the other way because they were quite tall on the wall, to be honest. But ultimately, I just needed to get over the wall, and thankful it went in.
We saw Alex just behind the wall giving a little bit of advice. What was that advice, and does that help as well?
I think it's more just to kind of distract the keeper a little bit. I think just to kind of block our view, and Esme and Bunny were in the wall as well. So it's important that when we do get set pieces, we try and score some, and I think we've done better in that over the last 2 games.
What was your overall assessment of the match? Because Reading took the lead, but we responded well.
No, credit to Reading. I think they really give it a good go, and there's someone that's fighting at the bottom of the table, and they came out and they give it absolutely everything. So we had to be patient, and we had to really show our composure. So for me, I'm just glad we've got the 3 points on the board. We go again. We love playing here, but the crowd were really behind us, but it's on to the next one now.
You mentioned obviously building into the final few games. How are we feeling and shaping up?
Yeah, really confident. I mean, training's been really good. I think everybody contributes. I think it's not just the 11 on the pitch. It's a squad game, and those that are training, they're training really hard and waiting for opportunities. And I think we've just got to continue to be positive. And 3 games to go, and we've just got to try and get 3 wins.
Thank you for your time, Steph, and well done today.
Thank you.
Was our captain Steph Houghton talking after City's 4-1 victory against Reading in the WSL. Looking at the league table now, so United at the top of the league played 19, 47 points. City second played 19, 44 points. City and United still have to play each other in a couple of weeks. That is at the Leeds Sports Village, Sunday the 21st of May. That is going to be a huge game. United do have a better goal difference than City, though. Third place, Chelsea. They've only played 16. They're on 40 points. So 3 games in hand. They win all the games in hand. They go top of the league. Arsenal in 4th, played 17, 38 points. If they win their 2 games in hand on City, they'll go on the same points and they have a better goal difference. I don't know if everyone's keeping up there. Basically, it's just really, really tight.
It's pretty spicy, isn't it? Just trying to digest that, what you said. My head's all over the place. But we've got to play Chelsea this weekend coming.
Oh,
yep.
Do the right thing, yeah?
Yeah, we'll do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
Thank you, we'd appreciate that.
It's tight and it's going to go to the wire. It really is. I can't see... Chelsea have got the toughest run. They've got the most games because, like you say, they have the 3 in hand. They don't have the Champions League now, but they've got an FA Cup final against Man United. Man United are in the final for the first time. Will they be distracted? Possibly.
Chelsea have also still got to play Arsenal, which means one of them drops points in that game.
Yeah.
On the same day as United play City.
Oh,
I think the derby is the early kick-off, and then, I can't remember which way around it is. But
is it? Oh,
same
I'm
day,
checking that right now. That is, 12:30 Chelsea versus Arsenal, 6:45 United versus City. So that is the day, Sunday, the 21st of May. So that is the WSL. Going back to the men's team in the Premier League, don't know if you know what the anniversary is today, Julian, if anyone's mentioned it to you, but it's 11 years to the day since Vincent Kompany scored the goal against Manchester United at the Etihad, which lifted us above them in the Premier League table, which of course we went on to win. 11 years, Joleon, does that still seem like yesterday?
Yeah, it's just mad, to be fair, but the club's obviously gone so far and just continued the progression at a rapid speed. But yeah, these scenes, this game will never get old, because obviously the Arsenal game had a similar feel due to the circumstances. And I just remembered, that game I was supposed to make that run. I think I'd made that run like 3 times before and I wasn't getting the ball, so we decided to change.
Was that you that called the change?
I don't know.
I was going to say, because there's a gaffer right there.
I don't know, yeah.
Claim
Maybe, yeah.
Vincent's not here to deny it, so...
He looks young there. Head size.
He was young, that's why. You know what?
How old is he then?
Well, that was 11 years ago, so what is he now?
Yeah, he's 25 then.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Times change, right? 25, 26 years. Yeah. Different guy. Also, it's nice seeing that. That was such a big moment. Like that whole United City rivalry is like starting to turn a little bit. You had that was the first title win, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's a big moment to beat United in such a big game, to then finish the season and finish ahead of them. Like that kind of set the tone for what was to come ahead. And it's my only bittersweet thing. He's wearing number 4. That used to be my shirt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All I needed to do, all City needed to win everything was to kick me out. You know what I mean? Then he got his number 4. He's got a statue outside.
But you got your number 4. You got his number 4 before you left it. Yeah. Remember he had like European games.
Yeah, he had a conversation with me about it, and I thought, it's fine. I thought I'd definitely get it back. Little did I know. On loan for a season, never saw it again. Came back, I think it was 42.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we appreciate you giving him that number. Thank you very much, Nedum.
Everybody's welcome. You're all welcome.
You played your part.
I did my bit, yes. Yes.
Brilliant.
So City have come back to the top of the Premier League, first time since February. Of course, Arsenal have been there for most of the season. A little reminder there from that Vincent Kompany goal that City, never count us out. Our next game is on Wednesday, and that is against West Ham United. That's at home at the Etihad Stadium, of course, in the Premier League again. West Ham currently sitting 15th in the league. They're on 34 points, so 5 points ahead of Leicester, who are currently sitting in the bottom 3, but of course they play tomorrow night. So West Ham not having the season, Nedum, that they would have wanted, especially after the success they've had in recent years.
Domestically, but they're 2 games away from playing in the European final. So there's this sort of like split at the club, but then I think the run that they're going on there is maybe going to be the thing that maybe gives them enough confidence to finish the season the right way. You know, you look at it, they're probably like a win, 2 wins away from being safe.
I don't think they go down though, do they?
You know, I don't think
there's
so.
worse teams.
Yeah, they were struggling for quite a bit, but they didn't feel like the worst side.
No.
So as a consequence, like, don't get me wrong, the game between Leicester and Everton on Monday might affect the way they're thinking about things because someone's going to be closer to them. But like, I don't think they travel up to Manchester expecting to win, but they know that the bigger games for them between then and the end of the season. But they're a dangerous side, especially at set pieces, as we saw when they played against Palace. I think it was 4-3, but they weren't really in the game, but they were dangerous on every set piece. So City have to be wary of that. But Man City, the Etihad, like, when you really take a step back and look at it, it's crazy. It's
form, the goals.
Yeah,
it's a lot going on there.
Yeah, it is. And I think if City, they don't need to play like they did against Arsenal, but they need to probably be a bit better than they were against Fulham today. And I think with 50,000 people screaming, you tend to find the ability to do that. So hopefully it's a good game for City.
Yeah, the Etihad really has become a fortress. I mean, the atmosphere, especially you were there at the Arsenal game, was just absolutely insane. What sort of game are you expecting Wednesday night?
Tight, because again, I don't think anyone's now going to go to the Etihad trying to approach the game like Arsenal did. So, and that frustrates Pep, the team, a little bit, because again, they have to respect what their strengths are, and it isn't to go toe-to-toe with Man City because you can get punished. So I expect it to be tight, similar to today, but still comfortable. Like, as much as it wasn't great, I never thought City were going to lose the game, and only going to win the game. So I think that'll be the same on Wednesday.
West Ham have us on Wednesday, then they have United at home for them on Sunday, and then they have that semi-final in the Europa Conference League. Obviously, getting to the final, winning the Europa Conference League would be phenomenal for them, but only really if they stay up as well, though, Izzy. So they've got to get some points in the Premier League somewhere.
Yeah, they do. It's tough. I mean, I look at the West Ham squad and I think there's too much quality in there for them even to be in a relegation battle. But the Premier League is the Premier League and you don't know what to expect. But it's finding the balance now, obviously, with the European competition and then the stakes in the league of succeeding in both, succeeding in the league in terms of staying up and getting themselves away from the pack at the bottom, and obviously going on to progress in Europe, because I feel like at this stage now, if they don't progress in Europe, it'll be seen as, you know, a massive disappointment. And then how do you then pick the players back up to go and play a couple more Premier League games and finish strong? But it's tough, but like I said, I feel like there's a little bit too much quality in that side and that'll get them over the line.
In terms of City and rotation or resting players, Nedum, obviously we saw today Bernardo Silva was on the bench, Mahrez came in. We know for today that Kevin wasn't included in the squad because he wasn't fully fit. We don't know what that means for coming up Wednesday, and obviously we still don't know about Nathan Ake. Yeah. But with it being so close again, then another game at the weekend and then the Real Madrid game, are you expecting to see a similar team today or a little bit more rotation or different rotation?
That's a good question. I think Pep tends to rotate for every game anyway, with like 2 or 3 people in each slot. So it's just about figuring out which players those are going to be. But I think whoever he brings in, you know, the difference makers. Like if you see Bernardo Silva come back into the side, it's not a case of woe is me, is it? And the same with like Phil Foden coming back in as well. So I'll be interested to see what he does. And I think he might have to go a bit bigger because he knows that West Ham are very good on set pieces. But overall, whatever side he puts out, as has pretty much consistently been the case for the last 10 months, it's been pretty good, you know what I mean? I wouldn't worry too much.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you, Joleon. Thank you so much, Izzy. Best of luck with your game against Chelsea.
Thank you.
Thank
you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nedum, as always. And thank you all for joining us on Matchday Live on a day where Erling Haaland hit 50 goals for the season so far, and where we saw both our women's and our men's teams pick up 3 vital points. The men's team go back to the top of the Premier League. Oh, goodness me, what a season, Blues. Arsenal take on Chelsea on Tuesday night before we play West Ham again in the league. It's going to be a busy one until the end of the season. So we're at Matchday Live. We'll be back with you on Wednesday before the West Ham game. So thank you so much for joining us this evening. We'll see you on Wednesday. And let's all take a breath.